On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Go instead of her facing her demons and dealing with herself and looking in the mirror and say, I fucked up my marriage, I fucked up my situation, I messed up my home, I'm walking away. Instead of her facing her relationship and dealing with that shit and having an uncomfortable conversation and her man telling her what the problem is, she feel comfortable enough to walk away because it's somebody else that's going to pick up the pieces and say, here you go, baby. I love you anyway, and I'm going to hold on to you until another man comes and saves you. You cannot enable bad behavior because you reinforce the problems that we already have within our community. And the problem is that these women feel comfortable because they have not been held accountable, and they still are being saved and safety netted by both the government and men that have no level of responsibility and should not be doing this in the first place. You have to teach the hard lesson, and if you don't, you're bound to repeat the mistake. It is a problem. It's a problem, bro.
So, not saying I haven't or I don't date with women with kids, but I date women with kids.
He got a specific preference. It's peculiar. I get it. That's your
what
thing.
Do you mean?
But what I'm saying is it's specific to you. It's peculiar to you and your situation. You wouldn't necessarily tell your son, if your sons came to you and say, hey, look, I think this woman, you wouldn't tell him to behave the same way you behave.
I'm just a real ass nigga, and you certain layers are just going to come off on you, and you're just going to be a better person by just being around me. And I'm going to share.
But everybody don't need to.
What's up here?
I think he said his relationships. You clarified and said relationships.
Yeah, I value relationships, Anton. You looking at these women as this whole that whole. I still have like friendships with chicks that I don't mess with, that I haven't messed with.
Chicks that's hoes, and that's
relationships.
It's chicks that's hoes that see you as a meal ticket, and then it's respectable women. Just like it's dudes.
And I'm talking about respectable women. I said women that I've been in relationships with, women that I dated. What are you talking about? I'm not saying random broads. It's a difference. I told you I would date a chick that wears just stupid shit if we just gonna be fucking around and I don't never see you or whatever, and you want to come over and give me some ass and you wear a wig, come on over. But I'm not gonna take you seriously. I'm talking about the women that I take seriously, I pour into. I just don't understand how other men don't do that. That's the peculiar part.
So you would basically, you saying that it's not night and day when you get married based on how you invest in your woman in a relationship. It's not a switch that you turn on whenever you know this. Oh, this woman is committed to me.
Like that. I'm a woman's husband. I'm actually a husband to a female friend that I never even slept with. We actually had a conversation about that. I just remember that. It's a female friend that I'm just real cool with, right? I asked her, I said, do I treat you like your husband? She said, yeah, you actually do.
So you don't have any feelings. Because I think that's what you lack. I think
I do have feelings. Y'all don't have no feelings.
Whenever you do all this, whenever you go to the lengths of investing all this time and pouring into this woman.
What is the lengths? Is when she's around me. It's not like I'm really doing anything. It's kind of like sitting in front of a heater or sitting in front of a fireplace. You feel the heat when you're close to it, but when you're not around the heat, you don't feel it.
Hold on. You a husband to a chick that you ain't never. What?
Yeah.
You never slept with.
It's an energy.
You got a lot of
It's
time.
nothing I'm doing in particular.
Like, he's kind of earthy, you know, the energy.
You ever been married, Mr. Lego?
Oh,
you what?
Man.
You ever been married?
Yeah, I've been. Okay.
Wait.
Yes,
so
I've been married, bro.
We the bad guys, because
and that's the thing. Since I've been married, I still operate like a husband. So when the chick is around me, it's just how I operate. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it's because I've been married. I was married at a young age. I don't know how else to act. You know, to be honest with you.
So you don't feel used?
Man, this is wild.
It's who I am. Does a heater feel used? When you feel some fucking heat, no,
This
it's
is
just whatever.
crazy.
I get it.
You,
I mean, you're not doing
wait.
you're not doing
Feel the heat.
yeah, you're not doing these things to get something out of it. You're just being yourself.
No.
And that's why a lot of men, y'all don't understand because y'all do certain things to get something out of it.
No. We all exchange our time.
Who I am.
The most valuable thing that you have on this earth is your time. You will never get a minute of it back. And you have to protect your energy and you have to spend it wisely. I do not allow people around me that is not adding value into my life. And then as a result,
there you go.
No. Let me finish the whole sentence. Let me finish the whole sentence before you start to chime in. I don't have people around me that does not add value to my life. And then as a result, they get value too. It's an equal exchange. But at the same time, it's almost like, why would I hang out with the crackhead on the street just because he a person, he a human, I'm a nice guy? No, I'm gonna see you and be like, what up though? Everybody don't deserve your time and your energy. And so you got to protect that shit. Just because she got a pussy or just because she a woman or whatever, that don't mean that I'm a bad guy because I don't allow for a woman to be able to use me and then be able to move on and do whatever it is that she want to do with her life. Man, fuck her. Just the same way that I say fuck him. And she don't get no extra privileges just because she a woman. Fuck her. She trying to use me. And if we can't be mindful enough to realize that people are utilizing our energy and sucking everything that they can off of us in order to be able to better themselves and then move on and give, man, fuck that. We need
So
to
you don't look at a woman as an experience.
Let go. You've been talking for a long time. If we are not holding people responsible for what it is that they're doing, this is why women then feel empowered and they feel entitled, because they then have an expectation for men to do shit that is not warranted or is not deserved. They have to earn their way the same way that men do, the same way that children do. We teach our children that nobody owes you anything. You have to be responsible for what happens to you. And honestly, I think you actually hurting them more than you helping them, because it's the same thing that we complain about when we talk about the government giving handouts. We give them a safety net. We give them the opportunity to then do what it is that they want to do. And then we come and save them instead of holding them accountable, and they never learn a lesson. So then they put themselves in the same position over and over again, and they feel comfortable enough to be able to walk away because they know that it's a nigga out there that's going to go, instead of her facing her demons and dealing with herself and looking in the mirror and say, I fucked up my marriage. I fucked up my situation. I messed up my home. I'm walking away. Instead of her facing her relationship and dealing with that shit and having an uncomfortable conversation and her man telling her what the problem is, she feel comfortable enough to walk away because it's somebody else that's going to pick up the pieces and say, here you go, baby. I love you anyway, and I'm going to hold on to you until another man comes and saves you. You cannot enable bad behavior because you reinforce the problems that we already have within our community. And the problem is that these women feel comfortable because they have not been held accountable, and they still are being saved and safety netted by both the government and men that have no level of responsibility and should not be doing this in the first place. You have to teach the hard lesson, and if you don't, you're bound to repeat the mistake. It is a problem. It's a problem, bro.